Alright, hey guys, I'm playing catch up on Alliance War videos, and this is one of those rematches with Legion. This war was not a good one for me, to be honest. I'm very disappointed with the way I played. I could make a million excuses for it, but I'm not going to make any. I just had like a long week, I guess you could say. It's a lot going on. But anyways, we have Mr.Neg here on path 5. I'm using Ghost here. I practiced in duels that you can heavy counter his heavy. Here I'm trying to get him to heavy, but he just refuses. He just says 4 hit, back up, 4 hit, back up, and now he's doing the same thing. And so I just said, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna special 3. And there is a bug on path 5 where special 3 deals full damage anyways, so it wasn't the worst call. But even if it dealt like no damage, I don't care. I was just trying to get the AI to cooperate, and he wouldn't. So here I decided to push him to special 2, and he's a little bit passive, but he eventually throws it. The glancing is nice to heal us. I'm trying to build to special 2 and get a parry off and then the heavy. The reason I didn't do that initially and aim to do a heavy counter is because first of all the delirium there, and second he gains his energy, so just trying to avoid those. Also the glancing, since I have delirium, would be pretty annoying, but overall it didn't matter. I should have just done parry heavy special 2 and it would have ended. But yeah, the fight went down no problem. And then here I have to drop my recoil masteries for Nova, and I'm using Doom here. Double check the boost earlier. I don't use Mystic Boost here because that would be a waste. I'd rather keep the Tech Boost since I'm using them for Ghost later on anyways. This fight is really a nothing fight. He's gonna do double non-contact sometimes. You just have to be very patient, and you can punish them, as you saw I did there. If he does a heavy, just back up and play patiently. Don't rush this fight. It's not one you want to rush. You don't need to anyways. He has a lot of buffs, so you don't really need to do the perfect ideal Doom cycle. You can just improvise, which I'm doing here. I'm very comfortable with Doom, and ironically enough, I think this is the first time I'm using him this season. Mainly just because we don't have many Kingpin players, so I took that role for most of the season, which is a really fun role, don't get me wrong. Special 2 here is not dealing a lot of damage because it's unblockable and Nova reduces it, but since I have the Fury, I figured it would kill him anyways, which it does. Then we have Doom, and I went to turn my masteries, the recoil, back on, and the first run I don't have the recording. I don't know if I didn't record it or if I deleted it by accident, but I don't have the recording. I died here, and I'm not one to, hide deaths or anything like that. I've shown deaths before and I always will be. This was really just a recording thing. I'm sure someone in the comment section might say something, but it's up to you if you want to believe it. That's just my truth. So there I didn't punish because I knew the protection was ending soon. I'm trying to get a heavy off so I can special 2, but I also want to keep his prowess low. That's why I'm doing the combos in between as well. I don't want him to stack his prowess. That's really dangerous. Right here I did another combo just to lower them. And not really finding a nice interval to special 2 because, or actually I'm not finding a nice interval to heavy because of his aura and all this stuff. There I have one, so I take it. I decide to bait special 1 first just before I throw it. And yeah, this one pretty much takes care of business, I think. I don't really remember, this war was a bit ago. Yeah, I did take care of, okay, so that was good. And then the next fight is, I think it was Tigra in path 9. Yeah, it looks like it. So I'm using Ghost here. This was not perfect fight. I was pretty upset with the Doom death earlier. I actually had one last season as well. It's just awful on my end. I'm healing to full because just don't want to risk dying again. This war was really close. Yeah, so I'm just building power. Here I was not ready for that, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'm not getting a lot of debuff RNG. Here I got one, and it's enough. Doesn't really matter too much. I kept the recoil on, I think. And yeah, that pretty much killed her. Attack power boost is really overkill on hazard shift, but I just kept them on because they're on anyways. And then I spoke to King and I made sure that he was okay with me keeping recoil on for the Sersi, because I would have to turn them off again to turn them back again for the next fight, and that was really, it wasn't needed for Sersi because it's Doom. And yeah, I don't think this is really a particularly difficult fight. I didn't do the best with managing the hazard shift, I guess, but yeah, you'll see. The first thing I do is just parry heavy so I can put her glancing away, basically. I think a regen boost would have been good here. So if you're taking this with Doom, you just want to make sure you keep your heavies so you can keep her glancing staggered up always. Just have staggers ready, multiple. And yeah, you saw I attack a little bit into the bleed phase, which is probably not the brightest idea, but yeah, it didn't matter too much. This was my last Doom fight. Here I failed a parry and she throws a heavy anyway, so I just wait for it to end. There's no real rush. And while it's ending, the bleed phase is on anyway, so yeah, as I said, there's really no rush. I'm doing only heavy because I don't want to trigger bleeds on myself, and I also want to continue staggering her glancing, and there I did it. And once the glancing was on cooldown, that's when I used a special 3, which will deal a lot of damage since I have recoil. I lost a good amount of health, but again, like I said, this is his last fight, so it didn't really matter. And I do throw a special 1, which takes me down a little bit more, but it didn't really matter. Another heavy to put glancing away. I played this really slow because I didn't want to mess up at all. And she goes down. Then the next and last fight of this war is a spot on hazard shift, and this is another death for me. Not the greatest show for me. There was one big mistake that I made, which I'll point to once we get there. Here, just heal up full again, just safety. Yeah, so the issue with this war particularly was that I had only one advanced power boost left, and I didn't have the units to buy one, and if I did buy one, then I wouldn't have the units to switch masteries a lot as I had required for this war. So it was a very complicated scenario. And here, this is the part where I really fucked up. He walks up to me, I'm waiting for his dash in, and as he's walking up, I throw the special 2, and he walks back to full block. And that's pretty much what cost this whole thing. And I don't really blame the game or anything other than myself, because what I should have done is wait for him to heavy and then special 2, but hindsight is 2020, and now I know what to do for next time, at least. So yeah, I do end up dying here, but then after I revive, the fight goes exactly the way it should have. Yeah, I'm very glad to have this recorded, so maybe someone could learn from my mistake, and maybe it could be a visual for someone to help them, at least a second attempt. But yeah, that's how it should have gone the whole time. Moving on, this is New Nation War. I think this is War 11. Here I have a torch with Kingpin. He doesn't counter this node or this champ at all. His specials are actually energy damage. so it's not the most ideal, I guess, but it's still working. It's good. You just need to use special two. No, it's not special two. Special threes because they don't deal any damage and will return a decent amount of power. You're gonna be glancing this entire fight, and since there's no hazard shift, not really going to ramp up quickly there. And I did consider to keep hitting him with special twos and give him smolders or whatever so that I can get incinerates on myself, but it's just not worth it. You're gonna take down a lot more than you hit. It's much better to use special threes and slowly play it rather than try to force yourself into overpowers by taking his incinerates, because remember there's also a cooldown. But yeah, I had a lot of dropped parries in this war. I mean, this war only had 2 fights. I told the officers that my day is going to be very busy for a lot of things, and they're very understanding about it. But also, my officer Luigi, he couldn't find a kingpin path in section 2, so it wasn't totally that. It was just how the plan turned out. Like they were saying, hey, sorry, we couldn't give you more fights, because I love to take a lot of fights. But yeah, that was a good laugh. So here, using special 3 again, just play the fight slowly and it'll go down with no issues. I have power backs and stuff, but they didn't really play a lot of factor because of glancing. But the damage is not all bad either. Like, he's still going down at a good pace. I was alternating my combos as much as I can. And this is what I meant by giving him smolders and gaining incinerates on yourself. You see that it's not all worth it because I'm gonna glance regardless. It's better to use special 3s. And during the cooldown of the shrug, you can melt slowly as well. It's not so safe. So after this, I had only one more fight, which is Hazard Shift. SorcSpiderman, I think that's what he's called. I was just making sure that I can move up and I'm not doubling someone whose lane is still up. I was pretty tempted to take someone's lane, but no, I'm not going to do that in this war. Or even in general, I'm just kidding. So yeah, this fight is pretty difficult. He's another tricky defender. I would advise you to do a lot of duels. I can leave the duel target in the description. I have advanced SP3 boost and the invul boost, and I boosted pretty big. Even though I have 2 fights, doesn't matter. I want to solo them. Here I'm going to heal up to full. Yeah, so this Spidey, I practiced a lot in duels, his special 2, and my friend Pepe, he made a very nice video, much better than how I have shown here. He dexes his special cleanly, so if you need to see a visual, you can look up his channel. So the whole idea of his defensive kit is that miss mechanic. It's like a cloak. If you watch the timer, you're gonna be fine. You can comfortably medium his heavy without getting punished. Here I'm playing slowly because I know that the miss is coming back, and then he comes heavy and it comes. And I was cornered a lot in this fight, not intentionally at all. It was just me playing slowly and safely over like rushing or anything. Here I'm trying to get him to use a special. So for next time, I'm gonna try my best to not get cornered as I am here. So now that the miss is gonna cool down, I'm waiting for him to heavy so I can punish. Here I'm trying to bait his special if he won't really throw it. And then here in the corner, he finally throws it. So 1, 2, dex the second one, block the first and third, and that takes me down to very low health. And I should have attempted to dex even in the corner rather than blocking it, but the dex attempts that I did, they were all around the middle of the arena. I didn't do corner dexes because I didn't expect that. So next time I will try to do some more corner dexes just to prepare better. They're the only one hit and move back because of the misses back, and here I just decided to go for it with the combo, and I was going to chain a special 1 anyways. If it didn't kill, that definitely would have killed him. This is also my last war with Sweetest Alliance. This is not because I'm going anywhere, this is because they're disbanding. It's very unfortunate. I had a very good run with them for 2 seasons, and enjoyed every war. Just want to give a big shout out to all the officers, to King, Luigi, Suida, and anyone else. It's a very good run. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one.